So I promised you that I would come back for 7 days in a row and I would give you all the goods when it comes to emotional eating. Yesterday, I talked a little bit about the root of emotional eating and the fact that it's emotions. And the very first thing that we have to do is stop and create awareness that we're even having an emotion. And the challenge with that is that when we're little, we're toddlers, right? We're on the floor kicking and screaming, processing our anger. We're told to shut up. We're told to be quiet. We're told it's not appropriate. So we learn at a very young age how to suppress our emotions. And now we get to unlearn everything that we learned and go back to being toddlers and reconnect with our emotions. So part two of this process is to, once you've stopped and you've brought awareness, to challenge what you're feeling. And in the challenge, the question that you need to ask yourself is, what am I feeling right now? And the truth is, we are emotional beings. So at any given moment, we're feeling some kind of way, whether we're aware of it or not. And that's why it helps to stop and ask the question as a challenge, what am I feeling right now? A great example of that is, especially when it comes to emotional eating, is you're not hungry, you just ate, and all of a sudden you find yourself staring in the fridge, right? Like fridge doors open and the refrigerator is literally like, what do you want now? Like, you were just in here. What exactly do you need from me? And you know that it's not about the food. Chances are you're feeling some kind of way. Or there's a big old tray of dessert sitting out at your work and you find yourself going back to the cookies for the 7th time in the last hour. That was totally me. I'm a cookie monster. I love cookies. And once I start, I can't stop because they're so yummy. But in those moments, like, yeah, I was feeling some kind of way. Bored, sad, happy, angry, frustrated, even celebratory. When I feel like celebrating, I like to use food to make the high higher, right? Because food gives you that dopamine hit, that happy chemical. But I also like to use food to make the lows less low. So when I'm feeling sad or upset or angry or depressed, I like to use food to bring myself back up. And I like to use food on the other end to make the high even higher. So that was the awareness that I learned about myself when I started digging into emotions. So just remember that when you find yourself about to do something with food that you know does not align with what it was you said that you really wanted for your own health and your own goals, stop, create the awareness, and challenge. What am I feeling right now? We also talked yesterday about how sometimes the stop gap doesn't even happen until after you've done the behavior, or you've screamed or yelled at your spouse, or you've spanked your kids, like whatever. This can apply to so many things. And it's not until after the fact that you even become aware of what just happened. You can challenge yourself in that moment too. Instead of judging yourself like, God, I suck. I shouldn't have done that. I'm horrible. I know better. Why can't I just la 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 la? If that worked, we'd all have what we wanted. So stop judging yourself and stop beating yourself up. Instead, I would love to empower you to become curious. Like, I wonder what I was feeling in that moment. I wonder. Get really curious. So part one is to stop, become aware. Part two is to challenge by asking yourself the question, what am I feeling right now? Or what was I feeling in that moment? I'm going to come back at you tomorrow with 3 more parts of the challenge process. Once you've identified what you're feeling right now, there are 3 more steps to actually fully processing that emotion so that you can go from the amygdala, which is the part of the brain that just is instantaneous, responsive. I'm feeling some kind of way. I'm zombie into the cookie plate, right? Into the prefrontal cortex, which is, oh yeah, I have goals. Oh yeah, this is actually the decision that I want to make. So this process is scientifically pulling you out of your reactive brain and pulling that thought process into your prefrontal cortex, which is your brain that is based in creation, that allows you to create what it is that you want to create. Can't wait to see y'all tomorrow. Much love.